Morning. I'm running a little late. How are you? Whew. Breathing. I was taking the thumbnail photos and I didn't realize that it was past 10 o'clock and I was just typing away and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, so typical. So typical. Let me see if that's not what I want you to see. Maybe if I have a lot going on in the background. Where is everybody this morning? Are you there? Sometimes it takes oh, hello, I got one. Good morning. Oh my goodness, what a mess. I think if I even share this, oh well. Good morning, everybody from Washington State. Hi, Ashley. Oh no, you couldn't find me on YouTube. I swear. It's like when it works, it's awesome. And then it doesn't work. So typical, right? Let me go check. Sometimes I've been having trouble with YouTube also. Oh, I see me. I think sometimes I was late. That probably didn't help things. Good morning. I did get YouTube working. It says it's live. 5 people are watching over there. Hi, Dixie. Good morning. Good morning from Wisconsin. I bet it's cold there. Oh my gosh. So back to the weather. I'm feeling a little Margaret from Sense and Sensibility. But this morning I got out of bed and my husband's like, it's the first cool morning. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I started to go outside because I was going to check the mail. And he goes, oh, when I say cool, I mean, we're grading on a scale. And I was like, oh, okay, on a curve. And he said, I walked outside and it was like 2 degrees cooler. I'm like, it was still sticky and gross. I'm like, but I enjoyed it. Good morning from Arizona. Oh, so nice. Southern Tier, New York. All right, good morning. We have quite a few from Wisconsin this morning. This is fun. My nephew's in Wisconsin. Let me go over to the Facebook group because I like to be able to see. Sometimes it just tells me Facebook user, and that kind of drives me bananas. I like to feel like I have a personal connection. Maybe it's because I don't get out much. When did your daylight savings change so I know to change my watching time? Oh, that's a good question. No idea. I change my clocks when my mother tells me to change. I couldn't say it with a straight face. So funny. I am usually the last to know that it's daylight savings. I saw this great thing though that was like, now that everybody's at home, now is the perfect time to get rid of daylight savings. It made me laugh and laugh. Good morning. Oh, Oregon, Angela, my heart goes out to you. I've been, we have quite a few 5 out of 4 employees who live out in Washington State, and then I have even more members and family, actually, that lives on the Oregon coast, and we've been watching it. Oh, Tina, I will hope for rain for you. Well, I think you flush ice cubes for snow, so you probably don't want snow, but November 1st. Thank you, Margie. That seems late, right? I have no idea what I'm talking about. So, somebody commented on my Wonder Woman mug. My in-laws bought me this after my thyroidectomy. I have a new mug coming that I ordered. Actually, I have 2. I try not to have a lot of things like mugs and whatnot. Oh, 11-1. Thanks, Mom. Angela, you're probably not asking me. I'm not in Oregon. We have some cousins that live in Oregon, and you're going to ask me where, and I'm going to look really stupid because I can never remember. I love Oregon, though. I've driven through it more than that, but anyway. All right. Oh, you're talking to Tina. That makes more sense. Good afternoon from Norway. My mother's been there, but I have never been there. I like to tell my husband, like, hey, we have quite a few viewers in Australia, New Zealand, Denmark, and he's like, okay, when you get like a critical mass, that's when we'll go on trips there. And so we've got to kind of sell him on what's, What's a worthwhile trip? Good morning from Tennessee. Hello. We'll be up near Tennessee. We're going to North Carolina next weekend. Just trying to have a weekend in the woods to a little change of scenery. All right. Are we ready to get started? So, we're having a homeschool, my math curriculum for my 6th grader finally came yesterday, maybe last night. And so I was trying to quickly figure it out before I just left my 6th grader on her own. And I did actually buy the teacher manual, thank you. But I was trying to get across to her that the first several lessons are all going to be review, and it was a little stressful. One for each country. I don't know if I could sell my husband on that. I'm much more of the, let's just do it. What am I wearing? I am wearing a Susie. No, I always say this wrong. It's not a Susie. It's a Sherry. I have Susie on the brain because I'm also going to share some pictures of our new Susie Kids pattern. So this is our Sherry, which I've noticed is quite a popular pattern this year. One thing that I'm just going to sell ours. One thing that makes ours different, I think this is a pro, is that this is actually integrated into the pattern piece on both the front and the back. And so what that means is that you get the pulling all the way across. Does that make sense? And so it's just nice. Anyway, the reason I'm wearing my Sherry, it was clean, but beyond that, sorry, we're having a Sherry sew-along next week. So this week we're having the Ninja sew-along, and next week we are having the Sherry sew-along, which is super exciting. It is, yes, next week. So this week's sew-along are the Ninja pants. They're free on the website, and you're not too late. It's only Tuesday. So jump on over. We have one person who said she's going to make 10 pairs, so we are eagerly waiting to see. And I actually got a message this morning from Jean that said we have quite a few moms and daughters making them. So I want to see some moms and daughters, or moms and kids, because the kids ninjas, let's be honest, they can be for anybody. Oh, Angela, that's too bad. Oh, Cindy, that's going to be adorable. Absolutely adorable. I'm gonna be out of town this weekend, but I'm hoping to make another Sherry because I wear this one a lot. And it's a really lightweight sweater knit. I don't know if you can, it's a little see-through, so I'm actually wearing a tank top underneath. But I didn't top stitch the collar, and actually I made the collar a little too long because it's a brush poly that does not have enough recovery. But I didn't top stitch it, and I always top stitch because I'm kind of like that. Oh, I'm glad you didn't miss this either, Allison. So the ninjas would be awesome. I'm hoping to make my 12-year-old some shorts because she wants some to sleep in. I don't know. I'm actually hoping she makes them, but don't tell her I said that. And then, yeah. So this week is sponsored by Sew Some English Fabrics. They are actually doing a $50 gift card to one lucky winner who will be chosen randomly. So if you noticed, Laura posts every day, and every day has a small giveaway, just something small. And if you just check in with your, what you're doing that day, then you're entered in to win that day's prize. It's okay if you're behind. Nobody cares. And then at the end, if you enter in your final projects, whatever, then you can be entered to win the grand prize. And again, it's just chosen randomly, so no stress, no pressure. I have quite enough fabric for small pairs. But I'm hoping, this is my hope, if you notice what I bought myself. I was supposed to not buy this until October, but shh. So, oh, nice reflection there. I bought myself a projector. And I was smart enough, oh, this is heavy, to go ahead and buy the mount for the ceiling. I think you can kind of see it. I have, there we go. The bar, I was hoping to come up with some way to just hang it from the bar so I didn't have to screw into my ceiling. But I didn't want to figure it out and then be delayed. I'm like a need to get this going type of person. And so I went ahead and bought the ceiling mount. I'll just mount it right next to it, I think. And when I say I really mean my husband. Actually, I'm okay with mounting the stuff on the ceiling. He's going to be the fiddler because I'm a little stressed about the fiddler. So I had mixed emotions about the projectors. That little box, yeah. This one I think is actually one of the bigger ones. And I got so stressed about which one to pick. I did not want, so this is why I probably should wait till October. But if you're in the sewing for projectors for sewing, oh crappity crap, what's the name of the group? Somebody tag the group because it's like, I'm searching for it. Projectors for sewing. I knew it would come up. If you're in that group, there's tons of information about how to do all the fiddly details, and people have all different types of projectors. There's one that's an Epson that like you can kind of mount on a shelf and it points down. That one looked pretty promising too, I gotta be honest. So I don't actually mind putting the patterns together. I have thought about buying an AO printer for a while, but I don't have space in my formal living room here. And so it's really the kids that push me over to the side. So yeah, anyway, that, and I spent a lot of time this weekend. I spent a lot of time organizing patterns and putting them into sleeves, and that's fine with me. Like, that doesn't bother me. I was reading one thread this weekend that was like, it was on Instagram, I hate PDF patterns. I hate putting them together. I miss the tissue. I don't miss the tissue at all. And I don't trust their sizing. I will be happy to give it to you. I told my husband I was just going to like leave a camera running, videotaping him so we can really get an idea of how long it took us. But I don't think that's wise. So Cindy, there you go. It kind of felt like I needed to be the second follower. Like, I needed to have the ease of not going first. Does that make sense? There's like actually a whole science behind this. But you never want, I'm not an innovator in the fact that, except for maybe when, no, sorry, that was rude. Like I'm never the first person to buy an iPhone. I don't even have an iPhone. I'm never the first person, oh, there you go. Like I'm not an early adopter. I just am not. But I get enough requests in testing for projector files that I finally came up with during Charlotte. I have to like slow-mo. I can't even remember my kids' names. Why I give my patterns girls' names? Not a good choice. Anyway, yes, the second adopter, that's me. But no, I've lost my train of thought. Holy crap, it's that kind of morning. It's time for more coffee. I hope I'll be hooked. We'll see. Anyways, that's what it was. I finally made a grid on top of the Charlotte that you can turn off and on. And that way you can make sure it's not getting skewed at either end, because I was really hesitant to offer projector files during testing. One, because it takes a little bit more time, honestly. And two, because I had an experience, I can't remember what pattern it was, but somebody in my size happened to make the pattern, and it did not look like it fit her. And I was like, what is going on? Like, we're not only the same size, like, we're really the same size. Like, it's not like she's on one end and I'm on the other of size small. And I was really confused, and so I had her measure parts of the pattern pieces, and it was skewed. And so that really scared me off. And so now I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, look, enough people are on board with this that I really need to get going and catch up. And then I can also help during testing to make sure things are right. I have quite a few tissue patterns that my mother passed down to me. I've made some of them. I don't like the sizing. And Cindy, I agree. And some of them are real. Like, if you look at the old tissue patterns, if I knew exactly where they were, I'd pull one out. But I saw one in another group just yesterday that was from the 50s, and it was this cute little dress that was very popular in the 50s. And it said, not for chubby girls. And you're just like, Oh my goodness. It does crack me up that like how people are so anti-PDF. They want a printed pattern. But I think what they don't realize is that it costs an enormous amount of money for me to have my patterns printed. And then I have to find a distributor who's going to take a percentage off the top. So the printers, if I don't want to fold them and store them myself, that costs more money. If I fold them and store them myself in my formal living room here, then I can like spend slightly less, but it still takes up a lot of space. But then you have to find a distributor. And word on the street from some other designers who have paper patterns is it's really hard to find a distributor for paper patterns because they don't sell that well. And so then they're selling them at a deep discount. And so you end up either losing money or breaking even just to get into a quilt shop. And it's not a win-win. It's very difficult. Mom, sell them on eBay. I have a whole thing here and I don't use them. Anyway, moving right along. So I have my projector. I would love to say that we're going to get it mounted tonight, but I think, we'll probably feed the kids instead. And then we're going out of town on Thursday. Oh. I think PDF patterns are, I think the sizing is usually truer to actual measurements. There's a lot less ease in them, I find. Anyway. I like instant gratification too. That's what I try and sell people on. I'm loving all the comments. You guys are active this morning. My problem with an AO printer is the size, but then also you would still need to move it in order to use the least amount of paper. Because if you're, for example, if I'm making something for a child, Stella. If I'm making something for Stella in a size 4, something heavy just fell outside my office. And I really hope my kids are on their class, but probably not since I don't hear anybody. Anyway, if I'm making something in a size 4, then you have all this wasted paper. And so I do actually have this huge recycling bin at my feet that I got at IKEA, and I love it. It's gigantic. But I'm cognizant of that, So hopefully I'll use less paper. Which projector did I buy? So I bought the Wowodo H9. It was not cheap. That's what I was saying earlier. So in the projectors for sewing group, anyway, I said it earlier. I'll link it in the notes too. It tells you, like, everybody's using different types, and some of them are really hard to see in low light, and there's all these things. And I know when Tammy from Love Notions got her first projector, she went through several. I don't have that kind of patience, I'll be perfectly honest. And so I went with one that I'd seen repeatedly that looked like it had good reviews. It was not the cheapest because sometimes I really feel like you get what you pay for. Not all the time, but sometimes. So, yeah, there's that. Oh, interesting. Okay, so moving right along. I'm really hoping that this is quick and easy for kids' patterns and for testing patterns, because that does add a little bit of time when I do it. My kids are supposed to have small group reading right here in a minute. We'll see what happens. Hi, Heidi. Okay, so we have the Sherry SAL next week. It is sponsored. That's what I'm wearing, in case anybody's still curious. It's sponsored by Stitchin Pretties, and they are offering a $40 grand prize, again, chosen randomly. I like that, Mom. Pay full price, cry once. That is really good advice. I hear a child going upstairs. That means they are not in their class. Deep breathing exercises. All right. Kim, I will, hopefully we'll have this up and running, and we'll see what happens. Like I said, we're leaving to go out of town on Thursday afternoon, and so I might not be able to get it done in time. Hey, Kellen. I'm calling my son to make sure everybody's in class. Okay. Well, so Katie said, makes me grateful you make FBA pieces. I cannot imagine doing those adjustments on a projector. So I agree with that. That was actually, I add length to everything, which is fairly easy on a projector. But I also lower the underarms, 1/2 inch on every pattern. And if I have to do like regular shoulder seams, I have to widen those too. And I just wasn't sold on those adjustments. But then I have, something in my back pocket. It's called I'm the designer. And so I'm able to make those adjustments for myself in Illustrator and then project that. So I have that going for me. But if I'm sewing somebody else's pattern, I obviously won't be able to do that. But I feel like with kids, I add length or I blend sizes a lot, but it's no like huge adjustments. So that is one of the things with paper pattern or projectors. I think if you're sewing for kids, then it's definitely worthwhile. Thank you. We are going up to the mountains. We have the twins' 8th birthday on Friday, and we're hoping for s'mores and very little rain. And then on Sunday, we're actually going to go visit my daughter at the Arthur Morgan School over near Burnsville, North Carolina. I am really excited by this. So Cindy, but even for stuff like that Josephine that you just made, did you make a lot of adjustments for that? Because usually like for sweatshirts, I don't have a ton of adjustments, but just food for thought. Anyway, keep it going. Oh, I was supposed to say, sorry. Last week's Tipsy Tuesday winner was Jan Noble. Maybe you're here, maybe not. I don't know if it was on YouTube or Facebook, but Laura will be in contact. She will find you. Yeah, Erin, I don't know how you would do it with the projector. We'll have to figure that out. See, and that makes the creative changes in Photoshop or other programs, that gets dicey really fast. That makes me nervous. I'm reading all y'all's comments. This is great. Well, there you go, Cindy. Made for each other. Oh, thanks for tagging Dan. I appreciate that. Okay, so on the blog, we have a super cute, let's see if I can show you. This wasn't working for me earlier, and then I tend to stress out. See that? Just ignore that. Oh, look, here we go. But then I had to click on the wrong thing. How cute is this? Tiffany did an arm stripes hack to the Nancy Raglan, and I'm obsessed. I think it's super, super cute. So go check that out on the blog. She's killing it, as usual. And then, let me go back to me while I find this other thing to share. I have to go back here. And then Rochelle is working on the Kids Susie loungewear set. So this is, oh, there you go. So it just says Facebook user, sorry. It says, I believe people who require changes, we're going back to the projectors conversation, copy the pattern onto drawing paper or something like butcher block paper, something like that, and then make those changes and use the paper pattern. So that makes sense. I thought the arm stripes were super cute too. You guys are going so fast I can't even keep up. It's amazing. Oh, I was thinking that too, about putting the stripes on top. It just depends. Then it could get a little thick though, right? Okay, Susie Kids. So let's share these photos. How cute is this? And then we have, so it's going to have the same options as the adults. You got the pockets on the pants, super cute shirt to go with. Oh my gosh, how adorable is that? And it's going to match. I love it so much. I think it's adorable. And that is going to release next Tuesday, September 22nd. So be ready. Be ready. You guys have asked and asked and asked for the Susie loungewear set, and there you go. It's going to be live next Tuesday. Rochelle's been working hard while balancing homeschooling and fires, apparently. There's got a lot going on. All right, and last but not least, I wanted to show a couple of things. I'm back on me, just making sure. I love more opportunities for the Mommy and Me pics. They're so, so cute. I'm actually making my first set for Reevie, my oldest. It's her birthday on Sunday, and we always do birthday outfits. But then Madeline, one of my twins, asked for pajamas because that's what she lives in right now. Oh, medical examining paper. That's a good idea, Teresa. And so I'm making pajamas. So here's what I've got so far. So this is not really pajamas, it's just loungewear. We're having a loungewear challenge in the 5 out of 4 family right now. And this is made with like fluff, something, I don't know, it's from Joann. From last year at Joann, and it sat there because it's fluffy and you get covered in fluff. But this is for Sydney. She wanted pants and a sweatshirt out of this. It's like ridiculously soft. And then this is my Susie. It still needs to be top stitched. But how pretty is that? It's out of a French terry. This is for my oldest. And I didn't give her pockets because she doesn't even have a phone. So, and then the last one hasn't been sewn yet. This is what I'm working on today. It's a set of penny pajamas for Miss Madeline. She loves the penny pajamas. I know, I hate sewing with that super fluffy stuff because I just get covered, and then you gotta clean on your machine because it totally just sucks it up in there. But it's so cozy, so cozy. I know, just need the cooler weather. We're dreaming of cooler weather. Although yesterday I saw an ad for a Title IX bathing suit and immediately sent it to the team, and I was like, I love this, I'm doing this, and then I'm like, wait, it's September, I'm not doing it now. So I've actually been sewing quite a bit lately. I got a quilt top done. Oh my gosh, check this out. Don't mind that mess I just made. So this is a running stitch quilt pattern sew-along that I started. And okay, the fabrics are kind of funky. I know that. It's okay if you don't love the patterns together. But I wanted to use stuff in my stash. That was the secret here. Wait, I'm going the wrong way. So, I got the whole quilt top done. And this has a little story. So I did use all fabric from my stash because last month the challenge was use your oldest fabric. This is the challenge in the 5 out of 4 family. So I'm a little late finishing my quilt top here, and who knows when it's actually going to be quilted. But I have a goal of doing one quilt for each child so that, when they have their own families, they have one quilt. Not a lot. I just need one. I don't need a lot, but one twin size quilt. So I already have 2 that are totally done and being used on beds. And then I have a winter theme one with like this super cute Riley Blake fabric. The quilt sandwich is literally sitting right here and waiting for me to quilt it on my machine, and I just having it. I think I would have to go out to the dining room table so that I can like push it under and it slides on the table. That involves cleaning the table. I'm sharing too much. I think that one will be fun to quilt. It should be super easy. I'm not going to make it really thick. That's what's wrong with this winter quilt that I did. It's super thick because I wanted it to be a little heavier and a little warmer. Angela, I can honestly say that French terry, the fluffy kind with the big loops on the back, is my favorite fabric. I'll stick by that. I mean, so we were joking about this too. I keep this in my sewing room for when I get chilly. This is just a French terry Donna sweatshirt jacket that I made. And so it's super lightweight, and I wear it almost every day. Like, I really need to make a second one. French terry makes it super wearable here in Georgia for just for air conditioning, or if you go to the movies, which I don't go to the movies right now, but in general. Brushed French terry. I might need to try that. But I am really known for buying the French terry bundles from Sew English. I have a lot of them. So I love to use them. Oh, my favorite one to use it on, and you will see me wear this pattern almost every week because it really, and this is probably going to be one of the first ones that I update, and I am working on that, I promise, is the Weekender with the cowl neck, and I love it so much. I make that out of French terry, and it's just the right weight for me. A jean quilt, oh my gosh, that sounds hard. I would love to see a picture of that, though, if you could send me a picture, because I'm curious. But I made I used from old blue jeans. Oh, it wasn't blue jeans. It was actually from cargo pants. I made my niece a purse, and I used the pockets. That one was fun. Ooh, French Terry Diane joggers. Yes, that's the Donna I've been wearing for a week. Shh. So yesterday I had to go to the post office to send a few packages, and I'm going to tell my group this, but I checked my post office box, and I promise I'm not going to cry. I promise. Somebody says I add the batting to a center strip and quilt, then add batting. Oh. I need to see a video of how to do that. Me want to sew. That's funny. I just finally read your name. I'm really curious how that works. I've never seen that happen. I know that Mr. Domestic sews, or not sews, if he's doing like little pieces, he will adhere fusible fleece. So I'm really curious. That way he doesn't have to worry about it bunching and stuff like that. Like I thought that was wise. I struggle to iron. I like the weighted blanket aspect of that, Angela. I think that's pretty neat. You know, Jessica, the only person who I know does a swatch pack is Purple Seamstress. And she does it for all her colors of brush poly and cotton lycra. So Sassy does it, but that's more for like power net and their specialty fabrics for bras and underwear. But I don't know who else does it. I talked to Leslie at Discovery Fabrics, and she can't do it because they have so many different types of fabric, and some of them are just one roll. Oh, Tara says that So English sometimes has them. I think it's hard because, you know, things are coming and going, unless it's a standard that they have all the time, you know? My mom made me a weighted blanket. She made it. She used little pellets and everything. Quilts as I go. I'm really curious about that. I'm gonna have to look that up. Oh, Sly Fox has a swatch pack of different types of fabrics right now. Cool. Okay, I'm going to show you this, and then I'm going to sign off. So I went to check my, okay, here it is, my post office box yesterday. And, you know, I had surgery back in July, and Jenny had surgery in June, and it has just been one thing after another. And I cried yesterday. And here's why. Because I felt so loved. I got this in the mail. How beautiful is this? I'm going to frame it. This is I got all this mail from the 5 out of 4 family, and it just made me feel so loved. And like I'm really building connections with people who care. And that just like warmed my heart so much. And then Helena found this, and I needed this yesterday. I don't know if she's online, actually. I haven't seen her name, but it's a little anchor. It's probably out of focus, sorry. But then the back says refuse to sink. And yesterday, I can honestly say, it was like I'm getting a little verklempt, sorry. It was really one of those things that like, it was like a message at the right time. Because I was struggling. I don't know how many of you know this, but last year was my very first year putting all of the kids in some sort of school or daycare with the youngest. And it would have been 13 years that I had been a stay-at-home mom with 5 out of 4 coming second to that sort of thing. And nobody's ranking them. This is my own brain working here. And I'm not going to cry. I promise. I made a promise. I'm just going to like sit on my hands and rock a little bit. But I had everybody in school, and like my husband and I were in agreement that like this was my time to focus on 5 out of 4, to focus on me. Like we had never intended for me to stay home for 13 years, and things had just sort of evolved, and then with the twins and one thing after another. And it was my time. Like I had all these plans, and then we didn't even make it through a whole year. Let me back up one more second. I have 6 children, all under 14 and under at this point. The last birthday is on Sunday, so they'll be 14, 12, 10, 8-year-old twins, and a 3-year-old. And so back before school started last year, so this would have been in 2019, we did one of those where we rented a dumpster and like filled the van with giveaway, and had like really purged. It's one of my favorite things to do. And I looked through all of our homeschooling books, like whether they were just spines, like not textbooks, but like the thicker stuff. And I was like, this age is over. This season is over. It's time to move on to new seasons. And so I was a little torn, but I got, I got rid of everything. So imagine the cruel trick that was like that I felt in March. And now fast forward to now when we're still doing virtual school, and I really, really love having my kids at home, but it's this like want my cake and eat it too scenario, to where like the youngest is not old enough to know like, okay, mommy needs to work. She wants to paint with me and she wants to, and that's great. And I love it. And we love sleeping in a little bit, not catching that bus before 7 a.m. And my kids love being done at lunchtime. Like, we love it. But man, yesterday was a hard day. And then I went to check my post office and I was like, whoa. And my husband came down and he's like, are these tears of joy? What is happening? And so one other thing I wanted to share with you was this. And then I swear this was the funniest card that I got. It says, my advice for feeling better, drink plenty of fluids. So between that and then Sherry sent me one from North Dakota, and it just like, even her message on the back, it was like, when you get your travel bus, come here to this campground and check out this historic site. And I was like, I don't have a community here where I live right now. And I don't have friends who sew. The fact that one of the members who painted this beautiful picture for me, she lives less than like 3 miles away. And so we are counting down to when we can meet. Like, I don't know anybody that sews. And I built this membership, and at first it was just sort of like this experiment, right? But then I get things like this, and I'm like, oh my, like, I am truly building something that matters. And like all these women, I'm trying to make a difference in their life, but really what's ending up happening is that they're making a difference in mine. And now I really am going to cry. Okay, I'm done. I just want to thank all of you for being here, as usual. Thank you so much, Angela, because it's been, wow, whew, it's been a lot. The 5 out of 4 family has really been life-changing, and I'm really excited to share it with more people. At the end of this month, we're going to be opening the doors on September 28th. And I even found out yesterday a way to collect their stories so they can tell you how the 5 out of 4 family has changed their life. And I'm really excited because one of the things that we are really working on over there is sharing our makes without talking about what's wrong with them. Something I do all the time and I hate it. And so I really want to share these stories because it's so inspiring. I mean, I hear about the changes in their life, and I really want all of them to know, and so many of them are online right now. Like, this has really changed my life, too. So I'm going to go drink more coffee and stop crying. All right, never stop sewing, never stop growing. Thank you for being here. See you next week.